That's from Greek.
It's hard.
They posted on Twitter, on the Yes Twitter.
Oh, okay.
It's
TMKS.
It is kind of hard, though, to judge that because everybody's voting. And I can't imagine an Islander fan or a Devil fan or somebody that doesn't like hockey is going to get that and like it. But I bet you if you just polled Ranger fans, it'd probably 80-20, 90-10 in favor of loving the call.
Let's go to Steve in Merrick. Steve.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
I think they're all correct. But you missed the point. The point is, and Don, you know this better than anybody, calling a hockey goal is really difficult because it happens so quickly. I'm not sure that Sam Rosen could have called that or described it accurately in the moment because it happened so fast. So the fact is, Sam might have needed the TV replay as much as anybody to accurately describe that. So the fact that Don Maloney, Dave Maloney rather, jumped on the call, the enthusiasm is real and it's great. But
the only thing was that Dave said score before Sam. Sam still made his call. I mean, you heard Dave in the background, but he still made his call. I think he probably would have wedged in Panarin. But it is a bang-bang play. You're not expecting a goal to be scored there. That's why hockey's so difficult because in other sports, you can kind of anticipate if you see the wide receivers open or as the ball's flying out. But I don't think when Trocheck has it in the corner, he starts creeping to the circle, you're thinking, is he going to shoot and score? You're not thinking that he's going to throw it to Panarin.
I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you guys do it. I listen to you and Kenny, and I think it's a level of expertise that I can't even wrap my mind around. It is so hard to call that game on radio. It's brutal. I don't know how you do it. I give you unbelievable plaudits for doing it and doing it so well.
Well, thank you.
Let me give you the Yankees starting lineup on 98.7 ESPN, brought to you by Bigelow Tea and Serta Painters. They're playing the Rays tonight in St. Pete. Anthony Volpe, the shortstop, leads off. Juan Soto in right. Aaron Judge in center. Cleaning up left fielder Alex Verdugo. Giancarlo Stanton will DH, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Gleyber Torres at second base, bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching Jose Trevino. And John Birdie is playing third base, and he will bat ninth. Clark Schmidt is going to start for the Yankees against the Rays. That's tonight's Yankees starting lineup, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea is a proud supporter of the Michael Kay Show and the official hot tea of the New York Yankees and Serta Painters. When choosing a painting professional for your home or business, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Serta Painters. We'll come back with more of your phone calls. We have to break down the Knicks and the Pacers as well. But first, I want to remind you, if you're like me,
people said I was crazy to do this. Just a surf coach who wanted to shake up the sunglass industry. I wanted something different, radical, and fun. I didn't want to blend in, so I created Blenders. Born on the beach in San Diego, now rocked with pride worldwide. We're bright, we're bold, at a price that everyone can afford. Don't blend in. Welcome to your new favorite shades.
Maurice's summer playlist. Sun-loving styles like our red, white, and cool spin on Americana. Key up day-to-night vibes with moody blues and trending textures. Take a beat in sporty, fresh airwear. Create your summer style playlist at Maurice's now.
Rebag, the way luxury resale should be. A curated selection of investment pieces to treasure today or sell tomorrow. Instantly refresh your collection. Get 10% off your first purchase at Rebag.com with code REBAGTV. Rebag, the way luxury resale should be. Invest in pieces you've always wanted or trade them for a new find. Access limitless luxury. Get 10% off your first purchase at Rebag.com with code REBAGTV.
Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
When I was really little, I don't know why, but I wanted to be a pastor. When I was like a small child,
I wanted to be a celebrity by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
These players are playing for a lot of money today.
I'm only here for 2 feet. I don't really care about any other place.
Can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
50. Right now, you can go online and buy a hand-drawn portrait for $50 titled Andy Pettit, The Stare. 1. Growing up, you used to play a game called Corkball using 1 penny and a bat.
First of all, how do you know all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The YouTube video of you snagging a fan's popcorn has 1,169,839 views.
Took him a ball the next inning. I said, thanks for the popcorn, signed it.
But that's what you'll get from bringing them into your life. The heroes at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years, whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animal stars on the screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species. They go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and support American Humane. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
Watch the Yankees Hyundai Sunday Game of the Week, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Visit HyundaiUSA.com today.
Is your cat getting too cool? Give him Temptations dry cat food.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
With Spectrum Mobile's Anytime upgrade, you get to upgrade your phone anytime you want for free, which means you get the best, latest and greatest, most up-to-date technology out there. So say you want a bigger screen, less screen, more storage, less storage. Doesn't matter. Any color. You can upgrade anytime. And who wouldn't want that? Except for Ryan. And that's a life choice. That's respect.
I gotta get back to this.
Yeah.
Don't wait to upgrade your phone. Get Anytime Upgrade, included with Unlimited Plus from Spectrum Mobile.
Why is just a starting line? For the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick, below the surface. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.
The Community Food Bank of New Jersey is the state's largest anti-hunger organization. We provide nutrition. We provide support. We provide opportunity. We can't do it without you. Go to cfbnj.org to join us today.
I guess the Yankees version of Maloney, although he did play-by-play too, was Phil Rizzuto.
Right.
So if you listen to the Bucky Dent home run call, Bill White is on the call. You don't hear Rizzuto stepping on him, ever. And when I joined the radio booth in 1992, I was a complete neophyte when it came to broadcasting, and John Sterling told me one thing: let me make the call, let me finish the call, and then you could talk as long as you want. You listen to all the big calls that he made. I never jumped on him. All the big calls that I made, he never jumped on me. It's the way you do it on radio. Otherwise, forget about the enthusiasm. You are impacting how people can understand the call.
Now, Michael, can I throw something at you real
Please,
quick?
throw it.
And I don't know that we need to, discuss this call all day long.
Right.
But I am interested, and it's very much us. So hey, in my experience in broadcasting over the last few years, in the different places that I do it, nobody gets coached up on anything.
You're right.
At any of the jobs that I do.
You are so right.
And listen, I'm not good at many things in life, but I happen to have. I went to journalism school, specifically broadcasting. I've been doing it for 20 years. I do it in many different mediums. I pay attention to those that I work with and people who know better than I do, and I try to get better at it. people don't even ask questions. And then the people that are supposedly in charge and produce don't tell people. And I don't mean produce like Anthony. So I mean people like Anthony runs our show. I'm talking about like the bosses who are executive producers and directors. They don't tell people. Like I've sat there on doing jobs with people on television and radio, and I'm like, is it my position to tell them how to do this? Because they're just not being taught fundamentals. So it's not just a problem here. This is a problem throughout broadcasting.
But, but the only thing I was ever told by MSG, and when I got the job, it was not by the person that's the boss now. There's been a bunch of different bosses since I got the job. The only direction I got was, it's not about you. Make the call. It's not about you. So
exactly, it's good.
Stick. Right, but that's the play-by-play guy. But you hired Dave Maloney. You hired Pete Stemkowski.
Stemmer.
These are former Rangers that love the team and bled for the team and won with this team. So Phil Rizzo maybe not to step on anybody, but he was unabashed Yankee fan, and I think fans appreciate that. So again, you're right. He stepped on the call and probably did affect the call. But you're also playing to a room that loved the reaction.
Well, I will say this about what Peter said. We get coaching at yes. We're told that that's not good. You don't do that. That's not good. I mean,
really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I mean, no, that's not the way to do it. No, don't talk so much after you say see ya. Just stop. Don't jump on the play-by-play guy, no matter who it is. We definitely get coached, and I appreciate it. But I think for the most part, you're right, Peter. They just throw him out there like they throw a kid into a pool.
And again, I'm not devaluing radio, but I think TV's different. I think local radio, and you listen to it around the country, I just think is different. The people that are watching a game on Yes, they may not all be Yankee fans. I mean, there might be Met fans watching or just general baseball fans. That's fed over the baseball package, so people around the country are watching the Yankees. So not everybody is 100% invested in the New York Yankees. So television, I think, is different. Local radio, would you agree, Peter, just a different animal? It's there for the diehard fans. If you're listening to a playoff game, it's probably because you love your team. Out of diapers and your wife's screaming at you to go to the Stop and Shop and pick up diapers, and you're like, honey, well, no, you got to do it. I can't wait till the intermission, and so you listen to the game on the way to Stop and Shop. So you are.
And I'll even throw this back at you, Don. Here you go. Put Michael back in an awkward spot. Okay, talking about local radio. There's a reason John Sterling's not in the Hall of Fame. And there's a reason that people outside of the city don't talk about John with the same reverence he's talked about here.
Why?
It's because it's the point Don's making. Local radio is its own thing, and it's for fans.
A lot of local radio guys around the country are in the Hall of Fame. Pat
I'm not
Hughes
saying
with
that's
the
not
Cubs.
the case, but do they have such unique styles?
No,
like
John has
does?
a unique style. Maybe
John
and the
is
people,
very much
and the people that are making that decision are probably stuck in the mud.
Well, but by the way, you could argue you're being stuck in the mud.
Oh, no, because I'm not being stuck in the mud. All I'm saying is let me hear who scored the goal. Then go crazy.
But what I'm saying is you could take the point of basic thing that Don was coached of don't make it about yourself and argue that the way that John did his thing with the Yankees, as beloved as it is, much of it was about him.
I agree. He was the star of the call.
When I first heard the Yankees win at the end of a regular season game, I had thought previously, Don, that was like a thing that happened once when they won a World Series. I didn't realize that on April 19th, you screamed, the Yankee. I thought I was in, I didn't know where the hell I was.
Lord Mike Grosso on Twitter puts it very well. If the Rangers or 98.7 have never told Dave that jumping the call is wrong, how is Dave supposed to know it's wrong?
That's a great point.
It is.
Again, I don't know if they did or didn't. And it really is based on, I'm sure that's not the way Dave wanted it to go. But it just happened. And again, I just don't know who's really hurt by it.
The listener, they didn't know who scored.
Well, they know the Rangers scored and the Rangers won in overtime. No, they know.
If you want to hear one of the great steppages of all time and talk about a guy that was all about him, but he was great at what he did, listen to Keith Jackson's call on Chris Chambliss' home run to end the American League Championship Series, Game 5 at Yankee Stadium against the Royals. I mean, Cosell tramples him.
But that's
tramples him
because he's a bad guy.
But that was more acceptable than what happened last night because you could see it.
But here's the thing, is that Howard Cosell not just jumped Keith Jackson, he stole the call from him.
Yep.
Why? Because Howard Cosell had to take over the moment because he only cared about himself. God loved the guy. God rest his soul. We all loved him and his impact in sports, but he was a me guy. And he wanted to take it away from Keith. That's being that was strategic. He jumped it because he wanted it to be about him. You can't compare that to a guy that had no intention of doing that a tenth of a second before it happened, but he lost control of himself.
It's a very, very fair argument by Donald.
But just because you can't control yourself is not a good excuse.
But at the end of the day,
you're a professional. You got to be able to control yourself to let the call be made and then go nuts.
I agree with you, but the only thing I'd push back at, why?
So
the
people
fans
could
seem
hear
to
who
love it.
scored the goal.
But the fans seem to love it.
Okay. Well, you know what? No, listen, I understand your point. I don't agree with it.
All right.
And you know, fans would love girls dancing nude on the top of the dugout. I don't think you're going to do it because it's not the right thing to do.
It would be something, though,
but they'd love it. A lot of them would love it. So, I mean, what the public loves isn't always what's best for them. Maybe we'll get the Cosell call. We got to talk about the Knicks as well. Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk.
This program is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 or over.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now, boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here, make a statement while barely making a sound, and command the road as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Step into the world of Golden Nugget Online Casino. With all the slots and table games you love, feel like you're on the casino floor no matter where you are. Score rewards by playing your favorite games and get your winnings almost instantly with lightning-fast withdrawals. So what are you waiting for? Have a great time in your downtime. Download the Golden Nugget Online Casino app and get started today with this great offer.
Everywhere but the seat. The seat is leather.
Alan, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? Don't do that. This reminds me of my bike. The Wolf was about the size of my new motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way? Happy birthday, Grandma!
Really?
Look how the brushstrokes follow the line of the gas tank. Hey! Brought my +1. Jamie.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nanny gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
Listen up, Nets World. Get into the action and lock in a 2024-25 Nets level membership. Members have it all, from exclusive events and behind-the-scenes access to discounts across merch and tickets. Not to mention the ticket flexibility in the first place, with round-the-clock management and seamless transfer to your squad. This is Brooklyn, and it's yours. Become a member today.
Or trampling of a call all day. Mark Wisnia tweeted out to me and Don, the NFL is a broadcast boot camp for color analysts. When I worked at Westwood One as an intern, I had to cut all the times color people jump play-by-play guys on local broadcasts so that NFL can teach it as what not to do. And if you want to hear what not to do, here's the call I talked about. The great home run by Chris Chambliss against Mark Littell, Game 5, 1976.
Mark Littell delivers high drive. Hits the right center field. That's gone. It is gone. Chris Chambliss has won the American League pennant for the New York Yankees.
He screamed it's gone, and it wasn't even gone. Hal McRae almost caught the ball. And if you want to hear how a neophyte does it, Monica McNutt is fairly new to this. You remember that video we showed that time, Peter? Of that great call at the end by Pat O'Keefe? She knew, I'll wait, and then I'll say what I have to say.
Yeah, she's killing it. She has an unusual level of maturity. Now, she's also not a former Knick. Maybe it's a little different when you're a former player. I don't know.
But I'll say this: Dave is outstanding at what he does. Okay, that was obviously that's the emotions getting the better of him, but he's unbiased during the game. If it's a bad call and if it's for the Rangers, he'll say that was a bad call. Rangers shouldn't be on the power play. Like he's professional, but sometimes if you watched him play. That's what's so genuine about him. I think that's why Ranger fans love him, especially of a certain age. That's the way he played, Michael. He was the guy that threw his stick. He was the guy that got upset when things didn't go his way. He was a lot like Paul O'Neill. And he sometimes he just can't control himself, but it comes from a really good place. But he does his job exceptionally well.
Jeremy Schneider tweets, I love the call. Captured just how ridiculous the play was. Michael K. is just hating per usual. Okay. I'm defending broadcasting, but I'm just hating. All right, fine. No, if that's what I have to take, then that's what I have to take. Thanks, Jeremy. That's what I'm doing. So the play was ridiculous, and you don't know what the play was unless you watch it on replay. Be honest, Jeremy. Be honest. If you did not watch the play on replay, you still have no idea who scored. But, it was tremendous. It was tremendous. Thank God for television. I tell you this, if there is a DVD and the Rangers go on to win the Stanley Cup, and I certainly hope that they do, it'll be great for the city. It'll be Kenny Albert's call on TNT. Well, it will not be Sam Rosen's.
I honestly do not know how MSG feels about it. But remember the steppage in Columbus? I don't know if Anthony can find it. There was similar steppage, not nearly as big a goal. It was during the regular season, Peter, but and MSG played it in their postgame. So I don't think MSG's got a problem with it.
I assure you, Don, if we do another full hour about this, you'll know how MSG feels about this next time you go to work.
Yeah, let's not do it. Anyway, this is your Knicks playoff preview brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Scout your next teammate with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. So Stefan Bondi, who covers the Knicks for the Post, is saying that Brunson is going to try to play tonight. He's warming up. All right. We know that OG is out tonight, and ESPN yesterday reported that it looks like he's going to be out for Sunday as well. Hamstring injuries are pesky, and it's going to be very tough to see him coming back. The way I look at it, if he's back for Game 6, we should be thrilled, and hopefully the Knicks can get a win in Indiana and then put it away in Game 5. But it's going to be very, very difficult. I saw something today, and it's so true, about how resilient this Knicks team is. Do you realize that the starting 5 that was planned out for this year, one guy's left? Jalen Brunson.
Crazy, right?
One guy's left because of Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett.
Barrett, yeah.
Julius Randle, and I think Quickly started Game 1, too. So 4 of the 5 guys gone because of injury or because of trade. And now you don't have Anunoby either.
Peter brought this up yesterday, Michael, and sometimes do you have the philosophy of sometimes you got to lose the battle to win the war? So Brunson's going to give it a try. If it's Game 7, he plays. But up 2-0, Game 3, no Anunoby, you know what? I got to sit this one out. I probably could go if we were facing elimination, but you know what? I want to be that much better for Game 4 and 5. I could go, but I've decided maybe it's best I don't. Okay. now the player probably doesn't do that because the player wants to play, but does this organization have to pull him back and say, no, you're not going to play?
Michael, what's the percentage, if you're Tibbs tonight, what's the percentage, you go up to Brunson an hour before the game, and you say, how you feeling, what percentage are you? What percentage does Brunson have to say that he is for you to play?
75%.
Right?
If it's 50, I'd probably say let's hope. But I don't subscribe to the theory, lose a battle to win the war. You could lose a battle and you'll lose the war too.
Well, you could, but if you feel he's 50% anyway and you're down OG Anunoby, it's more likely you're going to lose the battle and lose.
Yeah, it's not the Knicks' way, because that's what you love so much about them. They play every game like it's Game 7, and they play a game in November like their hair is on fire. But when you analyze, it's so wrong, Michael, as an organization in any sport, to look at it and go, what are our percentage chances of winning this game? We've got no OG. We're on the road. Our best player, our guy that's carried us, is at 50%. What are the odds? And what are the odds that we play him, we don't win the game, and now he's compromised for Game 4, which is an even much bigger game because now we're down 2-1. Like, I don't think it's giving up or taking a knee. It's just being smart.
Well,
that's the thing.
I think what you have to find out, guys, is even if he's 50%, if he plays, is he setting himself back, or is he hurt? And this is what it's going to be. Now, if he's setting himself back, then you don't play him.
Exactly.
But if it's 50% and this is as good as it's going to be, then play him.
Yeah, if a doctor looks at it and says you can't hurt it anymore, it's just a matter of your tolerance for pain, then he plays. But if there's a chance that by him playing he could hurt it worse and compromise himself later in the series, then you've got to be smart.
Well, I mean, it's clear Anunoby can't play. I mean, if your hamstring is bad or if you've torn it or whatever, you can't play. We don't even know what Brunson is. We don't know what they did to Brunson to get him to play. It just, none of it makes sense to me. I'm glad that whatever happened because his ability to play gave them the ability to win Game 2. But now, without Anunoby, he made his debut on January 1st of this year. The Knicks are 26-5 with him in the lineup, 13-14 without him. Now, they were without him at the end of the game, and they outplayed Indiana. I think Indiana's done a lot to shoot itself in the foot here. They have not played well. They have not played well. Now, what they did at the beginning of Game 2, guys, we never really got a chance to analyze this because, what happened at the end of the game overshadowed what they did at the beginning. I would press 94 feet and run. Because if you really truly believe that by the Knicks playing as many minutes as they are, that they are going to be impacted and that they will get fatigued, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I don't think they executed it that well, but you want to press them 94 feet, make Jalen Brunson really suck wind, bringing the ball up all the time. That's what they should do. But another thing that's been kind of blown away because of all the complaining about the officiating, Rick Carlisle's been outcoached by Tibbs by a lot. He didn't play T.J. McConnell when he should have. He didn't play Obi Toppin when he should have. He has not made the adjustments during the game. He's been out-coached by a lot by Tibbs. And this is a Hall of Fame coach, so I'm intrigued by what they're going to do today. Without Anunoby, can the Knicks win? Because I believe Brunson will play.
If Brunson plays, Michael, this is an opportunity today for Tibbs to sort of have his masterpiece win as a Knick.
No, that's a good point.
If they're able to somehow get this without Anunoby and get to 3-0, where then you get to have the cushion, knowing now you can easily keep Anunoby out, no problem till Game 5, what a masterpiece that would be. And it will come from Tibbs coaching if they're able to win today without him.
I believe that if they win today, then it's no contest the rest of the way. If they lose, they can lose the series. Now, I'm still picking the Knicks in 5, but I was picking the Knicks in 5 with a healthy Brunson, a healthy Anunoby. Without Anunoby, it's a different game. It really is, and I'm not being pessimistic. I'm being realistic. And the Knicks have proven over and over and over again that they're a resilient team and they could absorb so many blows. But can you absorb this many blows? Because all of a sudden, Deuce McBride's going to have to play a lot. Precious Achiuwa is going to have to play a lot. They have to. Because it's a six-man bench if they don't.
Well, I'll tell you what, the guys that end up playing are going to be pretty fresh, right? They haven't played a ton of minutes in this series. Now, that would be pretty special. to be able to win a game you're not expected to win, take a 3-0 series lead. That would be just unbelievable if they could win tonight. Then you start to think anything's possible because I don't know if you paid attention, Michael. Celtics didn't look great last night.
No, they didn't.
Now, they pulled this in the Miami series too, Peter, right? Didn't they drop game 2, similar situation?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
they'll have to run off 3 straight now if they want it to be
and
like
maybe
the last
they will, and it'll be a blip on the radar screen. But so then you start thinking, all right, if the Knicks can do that and get well rested, and this Celtic team hasn't won anything, then you start to really think, is it just our year? Like the win last night for the Rangers got you thinking, maybe there's something's going on here. Like, I didn't expect that to happen. We give up a goal late. We end up winning the game in overtime on that kind of a goal. Maybe something's happening here. Wouldn't you have the same exact thought if the Knicks win this game tonight?
Yes. Then it's almost like voodoo. I don't know how they're doing it.
Like it's meant to be. Like something outside, like something stirring here, and you just got to ride it out. Now don't get me wrong, Michael. When I say you got to do the smart thing, I still dress him because if anything, he can at least be a decoy. But I think you do have to be careful with him. And if the game ends up being, and it hasn't happened all playoffs, so I don't think it's going to happen tonight. But if they're down significantly in the fourth quarter, then I think you'd have to sit them at that point. But I still dress him.
It's going to be interesting to see how much he plays Burks. He played him 44 seconds in the last game, so we'll see that. How much is he going to play Jericho Sims? Because if you play Burks and Sims, all of a sudden you can give everybody a little bit of a blow. But if you don't, then, again, Josh Hart's going to play 48 minutes. He just is. And Jalen Brunson, and because of HIPAA laws, we'll never know exactly what went wrong. His leg was hurt. Well, how hurt was it? What happened? How did he miss a quarter and a half and all of a sudden come back and play for an entire second half? How did that happen? We'll never know. So there's something that's up there. The fact that he's questionable for today would tell you that something is up.
Now, listen, we're not doctors, and we didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but I would think it's pain management. He probably got some sort of a shot. Well, what could they have done to correct it?
I don't know.
He didn't come out with any kind of, that I saw, any kind of rap. Because usually when you're gone for that long, Michael, like in hockey, they're fitting you for a cage, or they're doing something. They're stitching you up. But in that situation, I would think it's, all right, we got to manage the pain. How do we get rid of the pain so we can go back out there and play? That's why people are speculating he must have gotten a shot. I don't know that, but it feels like they did something. What could you have done?
Now, this is from John Schumann on NBA.com. Some notes for tonight's game. Pacers have won 8 consecutive games at home, scoring almost 127 points per 100 possessions over those 8 games. Pacers have not lost 3 straight games since February 2nd, my birthday. Over the 2 games, the Knicks have taken 34% of their shots in the last 7 seconds of the shot clock. That's according to Second Spectrum tracking. That's up from 27% in the first-round series against Philadelphia. Now, what the Knicks are doing, trying to shorten the game and not have the Pacers run up and down the floor. And the Knicks finally, the Knicks have been great late in the clock, registering an effective field goal percentage of 59.6% in the last 7 seconds. That's up from 39.6 in the first round and 47.2 in the regular season. So let's say that average, Don, was probably 45 in the regular season for teams. They're at 59.6.
But what's the average time on the shot clock when a shot's taken?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Like, they take it down to 7, but I wonder what the average is.
I don't. I can only guess, but I don't think that average is what the Pacers do, because the Pacers push it.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to get as many possessions as they can.
But the Knicks always seem to, even during a regular season, they work the clock.
1-800-919-3776. So it's been a glorious time for the Madison Square Garden teams. Yesterday, the Rangers in overtime, they take a 3-0 lead over Carolina. You can actually go out on a limb and say that's a commanding lead. Carolina's a really good team, though. They're a really good team. If any team has a chance to win 4 in a row, it's certainly them. The margin of victory has been razor thin. The Rangers have won all 3 games by 1 goal, and 2 of the games in overtime. 1 double overtime, 1 overtime. So it's not exactly like Carolina's been getting blown out. So that's what their coach has to sell to the team. We've been there every single time. Let's just tweak a couple of things, but it's an awfully high hill to climb to come back from 3-0.
But like I mentioned earlier, like psychologically, what does it do to you? Just to know
gotta be
that
crushing.
you're so close. And remember this, I mentioned it earlier in the series. This could be Carolina's last chance saloon here. They've got a lot of cap issues. Their coach, Rod Brindamore, I think is one of the best coaches in the NHL, is a free agent. They haven't been able to work out a contract. Ron Francis is running things in Seattle, his former teammate in Carolina. Is he going to go to the Kraken and be the head coach? So, and by the way, Carolina has lost 7 straight playoff games. They were swept in the conference final last year by Florida.
Hey, didn't the coach say at the time we weren't swept?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Great memory. Because it was a similar situation. Like, he might have the exact same take. Say the Rangers win in overtime tomorrow. Because it was the same thing. But that's kind of how Carolina plays. They don't give up a lot. So they play games close to the vest. So it ends up looking like it may be, a lot. You're devastated because you lose 4 games to none. But that was the tack that he took. Like, hey, we're close. But does that message get lost in the soup when you're now you're down 3-0 again? It's like, all right, coach, we might deserve a better fate, but we're not getting it. We're losing. What do we do? And I just wonder, psychologically, does it just drain you? Like almost getting blown out, you're like, all right, let's just throw caution to the wind, forget it. But like here, it's just like it's got to eat into your brain, especially if you know that maybe this might be your last chance to do something here.
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Bradley in Manhattan. Bradley.
Yes, hey guys. I had 2 points I wanted to see. I think they were for Don. The first one is, and unfortunately, it is a memory that I wish I could forget. But this series actually kind of, you said earlier, you hadn't seen anything like this. But it actually kind of reminds me of 2014 with the Stanley Cup final with the Rangers, where, I mean, they went down 3-0, and actually it was an overtime loss and a double overtime loss.
Yeah.
And, it could have gone either way. I mean, it really did feel like that was the closest, 5-game series I've ever seen, at least as a Ranger fan. And then the second point is, I know that you were saying that, any shot that goes on goal, even if it's a low danger or mid danger shot, I mean, it's been, I guess, 6 years now with Brindamore, and I mean he's lost to Tuukka, to Vasilevsky, to Igor. Obviously, I mean maybe there is something to the idea that you keep shooting on a goalie with these low danger shots that keeps them in the game where they can kind of take control of it. Whereas you can get past a first round goal, you might not necessarily have the experience, it might not be as good, but once you get to the second round or even further, then it turns. And so I was just wondering your thoughts on that.
It's just strange, right? Because you went to the conference final last year, you won 2 rounds, and then you lose to a team that the Florida Panthers, who look like they can possibly win the Cup this year. So I don't. They won the division 2 years ago, and then they lost to the Rangers in 7 games. It's a really good team. Sometimes it just doesn't happen for you. I think they're a really good team, but they don't have. They've got a lot of good players, guys. I think Sebastian Aho is terrific. Teravainen, awesome. Svechnikov's good, but they don't have a Panarin in my mind, anyway. Like a guy that can really just take over a game. Maybe that's what they're missing. I don't know, but I guess that's their problem to have to deal with. And if it ends up going like it did in 2014 in the Stanley Cup Final, Rangers did win Game 4, but the Kings eventually won it in 5. And I kind of have a feeling that might be what happens here. Maybe the Rangers lose tomorrow and then win back at home in Game 5. But any way you do it, just move on.
You know what I really like about the way this Ranger team was built, Don? It's been 3 front offices that contributed to this. I think they all deserve to take their bows and get their flowers. I mean, if you think about it, Gorton did a lot of the heavy lifting here and made a lot of the plays. And obviously, Drury has tightened this up as well. And then, all the way back to the legend, he had a big part of this as well. So it's 3 separate front offices that have contributed to this roster. I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't happen very often. Usually, somebody new comes in, they clean it out, but that hasn't been the case.
No, there's the J.D. Gorton can take bows on what's happening here. Especially with acquiring Panarin and then Drury adding to it. And you go over the last 12 years with this team. And they went to the conference final in 2012, Stanley Cup final in 14, conference final in 15, and then in 2022, conference final, and now it looks like they have an excellent chance to go to the conference final here. All right, well, 2012 was John Tortorella, and in 14 it was Alain Vigneault, and then Gerard Gallant in 2022, and now another. That's 4 different coaches with 4 different runs. And what that shows you is, and Anthony's talked about this too on the air, is that they're putting the pressure on the players because a lot of the same players. So when you keep changing coaches and changing regimes, what you're saying is we believe in the players. We just want to see if the other guys can get something out of them. And maybe they finally found the right guy in Peter Laviolette to get the most out of this roster because there's little tweaks here and there. Strome was here, Trocheck wasn't when they went back in 2022, and certainly a much different roster back in 12 and 14. But still, a lot of the core recently, the same guys, and maybe they finally now have found the right combination, at least with the coaching staff.
Let's go to Stuart in Brooklyn. Stuart.
Hey, Mike and Don.
What's going on?
I'll tell you, it's really really something special with what's going on with this Ranger team. Don, a few things. Now with Hill back in the lineup, he looks re-energized. He's more quicker and better control of the puck. You increase the speed. I mean, he was dynamic, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in Roslovic's spot in a few games. And speaking of Roslovic, he's flying under the radar. I mean, you're getting more production out of him than you did in the regular season. And in terms of Chris Drury, he has this team set up in the long run. I mean, you've got good prospects down there in the farm. And Don, I know they always say that the fourth is always the hardest to win, but I think Laviolette is going to have this team under control. I don't see a letdown here.
No, the thing about, and it's really painful covering the team, especially when you're a reporter trying to get information. Guys, he refuses to look back. He refuses to look forward. He's all about the now. So he's not thinking about Florida or Boston. He's thinking about Game 4 and how you win Game 4. He will not allow their minds to stray at all. Now, maybe they still will. Coaches try, and sometimes players will just do what they want anyway. But for the most part, listen, this guy's been what is it, 4 Stanley Cups, finals. He's won a cup. He knows how to live in the now. He's not going to let this team or do everything he can and not have their mind start to wander. Because if it does, the margin for error is pretty small.
Well, remember, this isn't even a matter with this team, Don, of the only way they lose this game is if their mind wanders. You could lose this game just because it's been a completely evenly matched series, and they could have lost any of these 3 games.
Oh, yeah. No, they can lose 3-2 tomorrow, and it's not going to be because the Rangers were reading their press clippings. It'll just because, Carolina happened to win the game.
1-800-919-3776. Having a good time talking about the Rangers and the Knicks. What a time to have a talk show. We're leading you into the weekend, leading you into coverage for Knicks Game 3 right here on 98.7. But first, Peter's going to tell us about BetterHelp.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
Meet my boyfriend, Jake.
What's up, everyone?
What is all over your feet?
They're flowers. I study botany.
Resting dad face back there likes plants, too.
Grab some pruners. Let's prune.
This month on Hard Rock Bet is your chance to climb to the top of the charts. The legendary leaderboards are here, paying out $1 million in cash and bonus money. Leaderboards of all sizes, with daily, weekend, and month-long prizes. This is your shot to be a one-hit wonder. The real deal, or even the ultimate $200,000 chart topper. Download Hard Rock Bet or just log in and let your iconic rise begin.
Right now, you can get a free footlong at Subway. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO. It only works on the other side of the screen, buddy.
You still got a landline in your house.
Order now on the Subway app.
Big season. More reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience.
Aaron Judge crushes one.
Yes to in-game live stats. And earn rewards and win prizes. Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
My dad, he's a double amputee, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. To me, a hero is someone who fights for our country and freedom. My dad is a hero. Homes for Our Troops built this house, and it's basically made for him. My dad can get through the wide doorways. When he is making our lunch, he can reach anything we need. He'll help me build tiny projects. Life is good here. Without Homes for Our Troops, we'd be living in a home that didn't have all these features that helped him.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post-9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives.
If they get a new house like this one, it'll help them do normal life. My dad's not just a hero, he's my hero.
Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Waiting for the break of day. Wanting just to stay away.
FanDuel Casino has your chance at the #1 feeling, winning. Winning ranks higher than any other feeling, higher than number 30. Saying, I told you so.
Told you so.
Higher than number 89, the feeling of catching your car keys with one hand. And number 78, thinking it's Friday when it's really Saturday. New players get 200 chances at winning with their first deposit on FanDuel Casino.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
My name is Sarah Tierney, and Tunnel to Towers Foundation purchased my daughter and I a mortgage-free home in honor of my fallen husband. I'm asking you to donate $11 a month so Tunnel to Towers can help other fallen first responder families like mine. Visit t2t.org or call 1-844-BRAVEST.
I was diagnosed at 65.
37. Earlier than most.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association. Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
Diamond Notes brought to you by our good friends at London Jewelers. Paul Skeens makes his Major League debut tomorrow. It's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait. This guy is just electric. He had a 0.99 ERA in the minors and finally called up by Pittsburgh, so we'll see how he does. And Don, I don't know if you think this, but I think the next week is going to show exactly where the Mets are. They have 3 games starting tonight against the Braves at Citi Field, and then 4 games at Citi Field against the Phillies, who've gotten off to a great start. Now that's 7 games, and I'm gonna be very, very, very conservative. If they go 4-3, if I'm a Met fan, I'm thrilled. If they go 5-2, I'm screaming like Dave Maloney. Now, if they go 1-6, then I think we have to reevaluate where this team is. I think it's going to be a very telling week for them because these are the 2 teams that they're going to be competing with.
And I think they got the pitchers they want to start this Brave series. Now, you got to go up against Morton, but you got Quintana, who hasn't pitched well, but I still think they believe in him. And then you get Scott, who pitched, I thought, very well in his major league debut. And then you come back with Severino. So you're going up against a team that's 10 games above 500, but you got the pitchers that you need going forward. The problem is who you're going to have in the Philly series. So, yeah, I'm with you, Michael. I think if you found a way to go 3-4, 4-3, you'd be very happy. But if this turns out to be a real difficult week for them, you know, they're at 500 right now, that they may not be able to get up from it. Now, you got the Marlins right after that, and they stink, so you never say never. But you're right. This is a very nice test in the middle of May to see where you stand on a team that, you know, is 18-18. They've had their adversity, but this could be a very, very telling week for them. Very good teams they're going to play.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they come out of this, and it's the right time to catch the Braves. Acuna has not really been hitting. Olsen has been, you know, not quite what he has been in the past. The only guy who's carrying them right now is Ozuna. So this is a good time to catch the Braves. I believe they took 2 out of 3 from the Braves in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So let's see what they do in Citi Field. So a very important 7 days, not make or break, but it tells you where the team is. That's the best way to put it.
But it's one of those things, Michael. Like if you were to lose all 7, you know, then you probably don't get up. But I don't think that'll happen. But you want to be able to you want to go out there and get the job done, hang in there. We had the same test for them when they went out west.
Yep.
Take on the Dodgers and Giants, and then they came back above 500. So barely, but they did. Now we'll see. This is the next test.
All right, let's tell you that was Diamond Notes, brought to you by London Jewelers.
Beautifully done.
Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the Americana Mall and the mall at Short Hills. Let's go back to the phones. Joseph in Queens. Joe, what's up?
Hey, how are you guys? Now a 12-time caller, long time
Love
listener.
it.
So I wanted to talk about the Knicks. I called before Game 2, and I was worried because Robinson was out. And then, Michael, I got to give you your props. You're like, no, Achua's going to cover Turner better, and he did. Turner did not have a good game from the wing, and honestly, my concern is more about OG because Siakam, from that little low post area, he has these little fadeaways, and over OG, he had a tougher time scoring. But when he was going up against Achua, he was draining them. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. Forget about Brunson and OG being injured or whatever, half capacity. I'm scared about Siakam in that little low post area because he was on fire from that little low post area.
See, that's why, Joseph, I believe that there is at some point a breaking point where you can absorb just so much. You know, next man up, next man up. Then all of a sudden the next man up is the guy who should be sitting on the bench. You know, he's not good enough to be playing. So, I mean, who is that guy? How far do you go down that bench where you now have taken a dramatic drop in efficacy? So if you got Achua covering Turner, well, who then is going to be covering Siakam? Who's the guy off the bench? You're going to do Jericho Sims? You're going to put Hartenstein on him? Is he able to cover him? Again, everything breaks down because you're moving people to plug holes. It's like, how many holes in a dam before the dam bursts? So losing OG is gigantic. It really is. Let's go to Ken in Connecticut. Ken.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
Ken coming home from detox, and not ashamed to say it, but just wanted to say, like, being there Wednesday night, the entire place was going crazy with people that didn't seem like cared about sports. It was a uniting factor. I think the Knicks are transcending just all groups, and it's a very nice thing for the whole area.
I agree. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and I mean OG out tonight is going to be, it'll be a little dicey, but at least we gave ourselves a cushion. But with Brunson in there, I think we have this at least in 6.
Well,
so just wanted to call. Say I missed listening to you guys. I'm just glad to be back.
Wait,
how long were you
Were
gone
you
for?
really in detox?
Yeah.
How long?
I was there Tuesday and got out today.
That's kind of a quick detox. How does that work?
Good behavior was doing pretty well from the first day, and it just kind of worked out that way. Doctors agreed, all that. So yeah, it kind of goes along with Peter's little spot there for better health. If you need help, get it. It's best for everybody.
Well, good luck, man.
That's awesome,
Stay
man.
strong, man. Stay strong. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if somebody hits that, you don't even, Peter, you don't know how to react. You know, I thought he was kidding when he said he went to the game.
I
and
could
then
tell he wasn't kidding. I'm just trying to understand I'd be curious to hear a longer story as to how he ended up in detox, but only from Tuesday to Friday.
That's like drive-through detox.
But detox is different than rehab, right?
Right, you're
like
just trying to get clean. You're trying to get sober, I guess.
Yeah, it's like literally getting it out of your system, I suppose.
Wow. Let's go to Rahul in Manhattan.
Oh, Rahul.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Doing well.
Welcome aboard.
I just had a fun question for you guys, since in the spirit of the playoffs, the Knicks finally being so good. If you guys had to liken yourselves to one of the big three in the NBA, who would you guys choose? My personal choice for you guys would be the Miami Heat big three, and I would say Michael is probably MJ, Don is D-Wade, and then Peter Rosenberg is Bosh coming in and making it a strong...
Well, how am I MJ? Do you mean LeBron?
Sorry, I meant LeBron, yeah.
You know what? I mean, that's not... But I don't look at us as a big three because I think we're all equal, so...
Yeah, but let's have fun with the analogy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not LeBron.
No, but you're LeBron. Come on, Michael, you're LeBron.
But I don't take all the shots. I don't get all the...
on the show. That's where you get.
Yeah, but LeBron's not on the LeBrons.
He would be. If believe me, if he could.
No, well, Don, it doesn't matter. Reject this one because I am not taking Chris Bosh.
No, you got to.
Sorry.
No, but think about it.
No, it's not a big three.
Wade only because I was here already.
But that's why this isn't a good one. By the way, there's so many options for big threes. Why are we choosing the one where there's a huge drop-off, all due respect, between 1 and 2, and then maybe an even bigger drop-off between 2 and 3?
I don't think
you don't want to.
I don't think you deserve. I don't think you deserve Bosh.
Thank you. I would much rather.
You're more Tyler Hero.
I think. By the way, in some ways I prefer Tyler Hero, but I'd rather Don go with KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, big three, than that big three.
So,
well, why don't we do this?
What's that?
Why don't we do the Brooklyn big three? I'll be Durant. Peter could be Irving because sometimes he's not here. And Don's Harden.
Wait, that was Don.
Wait, I don't want to be James Harden. Watch, because I have a beard?
No, James Harden's good.
No, but he's flighty. By the way, but how do you compare? I was here when the doors opened. I'm probably going to be here when they close.
All right, so what are you, Wendell Ladner? I mean, what do you want to do?
All right, so you're Kenyon Martin. What do you want to do?
I don't dig these analogies. How about since the Rangers line of the Trocheck, Panarin, and Lafreniere have been so good, Michael's Panarin, I'm Trocheck, and Peter's Lafreniere.
And you know why that's perfect? I love bread. Bread is my enemy, but I love it.
But you're the star, and I'm winning the face-offs. I'm doing the job, trying to make everybody around me better.
But I think Lafreniere's, he's too good to be Peter.
No.
Wow, really?
I mean, he's an ascendant talent. Peter, I think, has reached his level.
But I think it works because
which is
he's
a great level
of the three. But there's still a lot of future that's going to get even better and better.
I just want you to know, if I've reached my level, look forward to the Rosenberg suicide. With Peter Rosenberg.
Oh, my God.
The best I could do was third fiddle on the Michael K. Show. Just look in the Daily News, the Post. Done. It's 6 months.
Why say that? You've got all these, you've got what, 7, 8 podcasts?
Yeah.
Right, and if that's the level that I was meant to get to, just know I gave it a good run for the first 45, then I kicked the can.
Have we ever had a segment, Peter, where detox and suicide were mentioned at the same time?
Yeah, very dark show. Very dark.
By the way, and the worst part of the whole thing was Chris Bosh.
Let's go to Brad. He's in upstate New York somewhere. Hello, Brad.
It's a lot. It's a big state.
Guys, great show. First time calling in. Love your show.
Thanks, man. What's up?
Hey, listen, just a couple things. I've listened to that call a few times, on the radio call from Sam. I got to say, you can hear Sam. I understand about Maloney yelling behind him and stuff and yelling just before Sam, but you can hear Sam. Sam, to me, Don, seems like he's shocked that goal happened because of how it happened. I mean, it was ridiculous that it went off the stick the way it did and went in the net. So I think he was stunned that they actually scored. I'd love your feedback on that.
It's a great point by you, Brad. I think that it was such a reaction because he was thrilled they won the game, but I don't think anybody watching, and certainly Sam and Dave, thought that moment there was going to be a goal scored. Like, Trocheck throws a
no
backhand
way.
to the
I
net, and
completely
you're like,
agree.
and it deflects in. It's shock and awe and everything rolled into one. And
yes, and I think Don caught it before, or Dave Maloney caught it before Sam did, and I think he got caught up in that moment. And I appreciate your point of view, Michael, but that's the way I see it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Don, I had switched TVs. Like I went from the living room to the bedroom during the break.
Why? What was going on?
And did they switch over and start the other game on True? Like I ended up, for some reason, when I turned on my DirecTV app, I now had the late game on, and in the top corner it said Rangers Carolina end of regulation, right? By the time I switched over now to get to the right channel again, the goal had already happened.
I don't know how it worked on the app. I mean, eventually they held the start of Dallas, Colorado as long as they could, but they eventually, went to it. I don't know how it worked on the app, but I was watching on TNT, and they never left the broadcast.
So, yeah, I don't know why I ended up on True. I don't know what happened, but either way, in that minute, I missed it, right? So when I go on Twitter, to the point that you're making about how weird the goal was, in watching the goal, Don, I've had to watch it 50 times on Twitter to sort of understand the goal.
See, that's why it's such a fabulous point by, was it Brad?
Yep.
Yeah.
That if that's a breakaway, that doesn't happen. Because there's an anticipation there could be a goal, or if they were on the power play and a shot taken from the point where there could be a deflection. It seemed like such an innocent play. And hockey's all about you kind of anticipating what's going to happen. I don't think anybody saw a goal coming. So there was kind of a shock and awe to it. I know a lot of people, are on hold with Mateau and all. I'm telling you, and again, I don't want to devalue last night. It's game 3 of the second round. I mean, if that had been a game 7, Dave, I don't think would have done that. If that had been a Stanley Cup final,
Wait a minute. If you're saying it's all about enthusiasm, he'd be more enthusiastic for a game 7.
But what I'm now, if the same goal was scored,
no, you know what we need? You know what we need to prove this?
What?
Do you, Anthony? Do you have the other calls from the game by any chance? Do you have the
Lafreniere?
goal?
Played a Lafreniere, which gave them a lead. 6:25 into the third period after they were down the whole game. Then they tie it on the Kreider shorthanded goal. Here's the Lafreniere goal.
Okay, let's hear this.
Moving in is Panarin with the feet for Lafreniere. He scores!
Shorty.
Back come the Canes down the right side. Puck taken away momentarily by Kreider, and it's chipped out by Zibanejad. He moves into the Carolina zone. Kreider goes for the net. He scores!
Wow, clean again.
Chris Kreider, a short-handed goal. Zibanejad and Kreider do it again.
Wow,
Right.
lots of room there.
I don't get it, Don. I don't understand, because what he did, he was very excited after that and gave Sam room. So what happened?
I think there was a combination of like how that game ended. Right, Anthony? You as a Ranger fan, you're expecting them to lose in overtime the way that game ended with Svechnikov's goal late. It felt like it was not going to be their night.
I was pretty disappointed when that goal went in, and then I was pretty much slack-jawed when that puck went in the net, because watching it on TV, had no idea how it went.
So it's that, plus the way the goal was scored. I just think that's what made it happen the way that it did. And I do think if that's like the Mateau goal, that's overtime, winner moves on to the Stanley Cup final, that at that moment, like, everybody's like, well, let's be cool, man. I could be wrong, but I think it ended up being a perfect storm of the game and the way the game went and how the goal was scored that you got Dave's reaction.
1-800-919-3776. Continue to break it down here on the show. But first, Don's going to tell us about BetMGM. We all...
Trying on glasses using Warby Parker's virtual try-on is so lifelike, so realistic, that you might not even be able to tell what's real from what's virtual. Yep, it's that good. Virtually try on hundreds of styles in the Warby Parker app.
Switch to Square and join over 4 million businesses worldwide. Turn tables fast with Square Register at the counter or Square Terminal in your hand. Get a POS that connects to a KDS to handle orders ASAP. Easily take orders in person or online. And with Square Banking, get a loan quickly for everything from small repairs to the biggest dreams. Gain time and peace of mind with restaurant tools that bring everything together. Switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
Let's explore your future with Udemy. You can learn how to program and build websites, study design and create logos, improve your presentation skills, and sell your ideas. With Udemy, you can learn practical skills from thousands of online courses taught by real-world experts. Explore your future. Udemy.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start? Today? Now? How about Saturday? Are they background checked?
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense.
Find all the care you need at care.com.
Mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Yes Network is now streaming on Fubo. Watch the Yankees and more of your New York teams. Streaming live on all your devices. Plus, over 350 top channels. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big Smasher Burger. Or you can settle for a drive-thru. Plus, get fries, a drink, and bottomless chips and salsa for just $10.99. See you later, tiny drive-thru burger. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Isn't it absolutely bonkers that you can walk into a store, hand someone a piece of plastic, and they will willingly hand over Reese's cups? Forget flying cars. This is it. We're at the pinnacle. And meet Reese's distant but delicious cousins.
Hey, so I found a betting system that's really working great for me.
So did I. What's yours?
I set up an hour-a-week time limit on FanDuel. I can also set up wager limits, so I only bet what I can afford, and betting stays fun.
Right.
So what's your system?
What's that?
Your system. What's your system? What is that?
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours.
With features you won't find on Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, or Subaru Forester, the Hyundai Tucson puts the other guys in their place. Namely, the rear-view mirror. Only a Tucson compares to a Tucson. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 3.99% APR, or up to $2,000 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end soon.
The W.B. Mason Yankees postgame delivers the goods.
What a great opening day win for the Yankees. We're dogs out here.
That was a Yankee classic right there.
Watch the W.B. Mason postgame after every Yankees game on Yes and the Yes app.
Yes, welcome back to the show, and what a show it's been. Michael, Don, Peter taking you till 6:30. Now, Yes will be with us until 6. because the pregame show, the game in Tampa starts at 6:50, which is an odd time.
That is odd.
Very, very odd time. So ENN, if you want to enjoy ENN like you should on a Friday, you've got to do it via the radio or obviously the app. The app is great. So do that. Get yourself ready. Get yourself set. And what you should do is study us now if you're watching us on Yes, so you see what we look like today. So then you can enjoy the audio portion with the video portion emblazoned into your hypothalamus.
Wow, that is deep where you just went.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Deep?
Yeah, that's what I do. Let's go to Gene in New Jersey. Gene.
Hi, Gene.
Oh, my. I'm so glad you answered. Don?
Yes?
I owe a huge apology to you for the last 4 or 5 decades.
Wow.
Hockey is the greatest sport. Hockey is the greatest sport ever. It is.
Wait, why? Well, how are you just finding out?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, that's what I'm disgusted with. So I've been a diehard Yankees fan, Giants fan. I've played sports my whole life, blah, 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 all that nonsense. Last 2-3 years, I got into hockey, and this year I figured out what it's all about. And I'm like, why am I wasting my time with every other sport out there?
Relax, Gene.
I am so...
Oh, let him talk.
So you don't like baseball anymore?
So locked in. I love baseball, but the rules have changed so much where the guys can't play physical, and hockey is like the last venue where there's some sort of physicality. That's what it is. I mean, look at Trocheck. When last night he took that hit on that quasi pass to, and I may not get it was Panarin to
Panarin.
Lafreniere to Lafreniere to put it in. But Trocheck, he took the hit, boom, they scored, and he turned around, and he's 3 feet from the guy that hit him and looked at him and smiled.
Yeah, that
doesn't happen anymore.
That was funny.
I love it. So the personality, the team that the Rangers have, they're so deep. And I'm a novice in hockey, so I'm not polling as the expert, but I love that they have 3/4 lines that you could put out on any ice, and they're going to play. And I feel like, because I'm 59 years old, and I literally feel like I wasted the first 57 years of my life without being into hockey.
Well,
you know what? It's fine. It's a great call, man. Thank you. I was just saying to Don the other day that as popular as the Rangers are in this town, I still feel like there's not enough outreach done by the Rangers because it could be even more popular. Like you need to give people 2 experiences, Don, to win them over into being a hockey fan. You need to give them playoff, just sitting down to watch a meaningful playoff game, and you need to give them the in-person experience. If you get one of those experiences, Don, I feel like it's impossible to not love the
I really feel like it is just a lack of exposure. Because I get so many people who say to me, Don, I wasn't into hockey, but I heard you're passionate about it, and so I started to follow it, and I really fell in love with the sport. Like, I never heard too many people say, I gave it a try, I just didn't like it. Because, listen, there's not a lot of people on sports radio that talk hockey. I'm one of the handful of people that do, and I take it personally, same way Michael takes it personal with baseball, as we just found out. And I feel like I want to promote it, I want to talk about it, and I think when you get exposed to it, then you start to like it. It's just there's not a lot of people being exposed to it. The fact that it gets what it gets, I think, is amazing when you consider not a lot of American-born players, even though there's more than there used to be. Most people have never played it. I mean, what percentage of people in Raleigh, North Carolina last night never even had skates on? Right?
It's such a great,
so you've never played it. It's a very difficult game to kind of just jump in and even understand. It's an awful television sport. It's very difficult to follow on TV, and yet it's been able to build because there's a lot of excitement to it. Now, granted, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that what you saw last night is going to be matched in a game in November against San Jose on a Tuesday, but their playoffs are as good as anybody's, and the fact that they're on ESPN and TNT, I'm telling you, is going to take it to a different level because people are going to get a lot more exposed to it. No offense to NBC and NBC Sportsnet, but it was hidden, and people had to look for it. People are stumbling upon it, and they're very, very entertained. And I think that there are Knicks fans that probably never followed hockey that are following it because of the connection with the Garden, and they're falling in love with it.
1-800-919-3776. Break down the upcoming game with the Knicks and the Pacers. And obviously, we'll also bring it to a fine powder what happened in Game 3 on the Rangers and the Hurricanes. Lots of stuff to do as we head to the Power 5 o'clock hour right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today. With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
And the breakthrough odd-chain essential fatty acid in Fatty 15 works to keep you healthier longer. Exactly. Fatty 15 strengthens cellular membranes by 80%, which protects you from traditional signs of aging. The single pure ingredient in Fatty 15 delivers improved metabolic, liver, heart, and immune health you can feel. To learn about improving cellular health and long-term whole-body wellness, see the benefits, and nerd out with us at fatty15.com.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest.
Never read a line of poetry, I'm not a poet, but I sit up in the back of my buttons cause I'm fresh. Never read a book on how to rip it, I just saw it, I don't need your explanation cause I'm better than the rest. Better than the rest. Better than the rest. Let me take you for a ride. I can make you feel alive.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to theblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
Too ordinary. That's why we encourage all of our players to take a break now and then. Just log in and set your timeout length. You can take a break from days to weeks at a time. Or you can customize it, so you can make every moment matter. When you play safe with Bet365.
Summer is around the corner. Put your plans in motion with great deals at the Ford Memorial Day sales event. Go places near and far, on-road and off-road. Bring your friends and all your toys. You've got the plans. We've got the deals. The Ford Memorial Day sales event. Get a head start on summer. Right now, lease a Bronco Sport for just $329 a month for 24 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
We're dogs out here. They were barking in the dugout. Welcome back to the show. So the Rangers win in overtime last night. They're up 3-0 over the Canes. Boston and Florida, it's 1-1, so that could be a lengthy series, and that benefits the Rangers if they could get through this in a hurry. Now, the Knicks, it's a different story. They won the 2 games at Madison Square Garden, and you would feel really great about the Knicks if OG Anunoby was healthy and playing, and if Jalen Brunson was not, quote-unquote, questionable. But I've got a question for both Don and Peter, and maybe the people out there can help me through this as well, because I don't quite understand it. The people that talk basketball, like nationally, at least on TNT, what is the obsession with the Knicks, and why do they hate them so?
Well, hold on. Who is this?
All right, so it's Charles and Shaq.
All right, Charles and Shaq for sure.
All right, and they've been killing the Knicks, and Charles said, wait till they play the Celtics, they're going to get their butt whipped or whatever the case. And Shaq has been against the Knicks from the very beginning of the playoffs. All right, that could be your thought process. And they even actually got into a spitting war with our guy Kendrick Perkins, who's been on the Knicks all the time. And now, coming out of nowhere, on his podcast, Draymond Green said this is a one-off for the Knicks, just like the Hawks were a one-off, and they're not going to be the same team, and they're not going to be content. Why the hatred? Now, with Draymond, he's looking for clicks. I get it, but Charles and Shaq don't need clicks. So what's the purpose of what they're doing? If anything, if you look at the Knicks, and even about the Rangers too, guys, they're not a diva team, neither one. They're very likable. They're hardworking. They seem to play the game the right way. So why would high-profile guys like Shaq and Charles just completely always shoot down at them?
I have 2 theories, and one is more prominent than the other, but I think both are valid. It's performative. They know how huge the Knicks fan base is. And if they get under the Knicks fans' skin, then their podcast goes viral. There'll be more ratings. People hate watch. So they'll watch and get into it. Hey, you hear what Barkley said. You hear what Shaq said.
Yeah, but to Michael's point, with Barkley and Shaq, they don't need. They're watching.
Right, but we still live in a world where there's still competition to just try to get talked about, and it becomes a big deal. And the other thing too, and I mentioned this when you were off the air yesterday, Michael. I think a lot of the stars. The Knicks are exposing the NBA right now. Like, if you could win by having no load management, playing north of 40 minutes every single night, being nice to the media, not promoting your podcast, not calling out your teammates, not trying to get your coach fired, then it kind of exposes all these superstars. The reason Jalen Brunson isn't a superstar is because he's not a diva. And if you can go out there and win without being a diva, it exposes all those guys. Because they don't want to work as hard as the Knicks do. Like, if they go out there and they win a championship, Michael, working hard and playing this way, there's going to be a lot of stars going, I don't want to do that. I like my load management. I like everybody giving me the ball. I love being the man.
But again, that still doesn't play to Michael's point to why Charles and Shaq would feel that way.
Yeah, it's so weird.
They don't like that stuff. They don't like load management.
I see the same thing with Paul Bissonnette on TNT, calling the Rangers fans fugazi, and I just think you go after the big team, and there's probably some jealousy to it too, because let's also be honest, guys. If the Knicks were doing what they're doing in OKC, most people wouldn't be paying attention to it. Like OKC, they lost last night, but they're doing a lot of things special. I don't know if they're getting the attention they deserve because it's Oklahoma City. But I'm sure there's a lot of guys jealous, like all these guys are getting love because they're in New York and playing at the Garden and getting a lot of attention. So let's knock them down a couple of pegs, because if this was happening in Minnesota or OKC or Memphis, they wouldn't be getting nearly the attention. But they're getting the attention they have because they have a tremendous fan base, and it's in New York, and they're probably a little jealous.
How about this, Michael? How about this? Charles and Shaq organically did not believe in this team.
That I agree, yep.
They actually just didn't. And I get it. If you don't watch them every night and you just see Jalen Brunson putting up insane numbers, you're like, this isn't the real deal. They're not going to be able to survive the playoffs. I'm not buying it. But then the Knicks fan base is so loud and proud and fought back against them so strongly that now they're just being that guy.
Right. They're probably embarrassed that they were so wrong.
Or they're just leaning into it, like, hey, we're getting all this action from them. Let's just fight back. It's fun. and also, by the way, deep down, we don't believe that they have enough to last. And I'm sorry to say this, maybe this will be my Celtic fan coming out. They're probably right when it's all said and done. They probably won't. In the end, they'll be proven right, but they didn't get there the right way, because this Knicks team is deserving of credit, and they're putting on a great show. They just may not be finals ready.
So
yet.
yesterday, though, the Celtics, I mean, I don't know how much of the game you watch, Peter. They kind of got embarrassed by Cleveland. So, I mean, I've always said I thought that the Knicks were going to make the Eastern Conference Finals once the playoffs began, and I still believe that. And if they could get back OG and Brunson's not truly hurt, I'm not saying they're going to beat Boston, but I'm not going to be on the side of Shaq and Charles and say it's going to be an embarrassment. It's not. The Knicks are better than Cleveland, and Cleveland just embarrassed Boston.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a walkover for Boston. I don't know why they're putting themselves out like that. I guess they can't. Nothing can hurt their brand.
You know, Greg from Trumbull makes an excellent point. Says the same reason why the Cowboys are every topic on all of these talk shows, usually from a negative angle. Riling up a great fan base will increase clicks. It's true. Like, Michael, you talk about they don't need the ratings. They could always be higher.
They might not even have basketball next year.
But still, all the more reason, right? All the more reason for those guys to be able to take their brand and their social media and their podcast and their clicks to wherever they're going to go. I mean, that's just, I think it's happening everywhere. That's the point I was making with the Dave Maloney call. We live in a world where everything is performative. You don't know what's real and what's not. Like, who's really passionate or who's just trying to rile up a fan base or just try to get people to watch them. We're all trying to get ratings, right? But for the most part, you'd like it to come from a genuine place. I don't know if they genuinely don't respect the Knicks, or do they know with that fan base, if we can rile them up, boy, that'll get things stirred up.
I'm telling you, it's the combo of they also just don't believe.
Now, let's listen.
But here's the thing, Peter. Everything comes with, I want to be right at the end of the day. It's an easy thing to say the Knicks aren't going to win because they're probably going to be a dog against Boston, then they're probably going to end up being right at the end of the day. So it works great. Let's rile up the fan base. Let's not respect them, and I'll end up being right. But is it really going on that big of a limb to say the Knicks are going to get exposed by the Celtics?
All right, so that's what Shaq and Charles are saying. Now, listen to what Draymond Green is saying, because it goes deeper. Here's Draymond Green on his podcast.
In the Eastern Conference, you can get to the conference finals a la Atlanta Hawks, playing very mid teams. And so that's kind of what y'all are doing right now. And I think what this is setting up y'all up for is what happened to the Atlanta Hawks 3 years ago when they made the conference finals and they never got back. Another team that did this, to give you some perspective on this, was the Portland Trail Blazers years ago when they had Al Farouk Aminu, Allen Crabbe. They had all those guys, and they went to the conference finals, and we swept them pretty much without Steph Curry. They ran off and paid all of those guys because they thought they had a team that had a chance, and it was a fluke. That's what the Knicks are setting y'all up for right now, and it'll be probably another 15 years of misery that we all will sit around and laugh at Knicks fans with their delusion.
See, that's not saying they're losing to the Celtics. That's saying that this is all, a one-off. And I said this at the beginning of the playoffs, and I will continue to say it and own it. This is the worst Knicks team that you're going to have over the next 5 years. They've got draft picks. They've got salary cap maneuverability. They've got tradable assets. They've got players that now think that this is cool to play in New York. They see how great it is to play at Madison Square Garden. I think he's dead wrong. This is not the Hawks. This is not Portland from 2016. This is different. This is different unless there's a terrible injury to Jalen Brunson where he's not the same player anymore. This team is built for speed moving forward.
And I can't get mad at Draymond. He's a professional NBA player that's got other things to do besides watch the Knicks every night. But the Knicks are one of those teams you really have to watch to appreciate. It's easy to parachute in every once in a while. They're a one-trick pony. Brunson scoring all the points, and Thibodeau's never won anything anywhere anyway. And who else do they really have? You have to watch Hartenstein every night to appreciate him. You have to watch Josh Hart every night to appreciate him. So I can kind of understand from far away saying, I don't know if this is sustainable. But if you really pay attention to the team, you would share Michael's opinion that this is only going to get better.
Well, Michael, but here's the one thing, Don. You might have to watch them to know like the details and the intricacies, but you should do the work and know where they sit in terms of draft picks and cap space and things like that.
I think, you know what, Peter and Don, I think there's a lot of jealousy because nobody saw this coming. Nobody could ever have projected that Jalen Brunson was going to be this good. Nobody could ever have projected that Josh Hart was going to be this Iron Man. No one projected that Dante DiVincenzo, who only makes, what is it, $10 million a year, was going to be this sharpshooter and a big-time shooter for the... No, all these experts, they kind of got blindsided. They kind of got blindsided. So I think that what the Knicks are doing is very real.
Exactly, but even Draymond, if he's going to do a podcast, should be aware of how many first-round picks that they have over the next couple of years that they can wheel and deal with.
Listen, he's a player who does a podcast. I'm sure he's.
Hey, Don, you want to be in the game and have the conversation. You got to know his argument didn't make sense.
But
this is not a fluky
again,
team.
This is the same thing Colin Cowherd used to do with Carmelo Anthony. You're never going to win with Carmelo Anthony. Well, you're Carmelo Anthony, who never won outside of Syracuse, and Nick team that hasn't won since 1973. Way to go out on a limb. You know, that's like predicting that it's not going to work out with Aaron Rodgers. You know, it's like, or the Mets aren't going to win the World Series. There's certain teams where you can just, well, you know what, I'm going to bet on this falling apart, because that's always what happens with the Knicks. So it's performative, but it's also coming from a place of, what am I going to bet? Am I gonna bet that it's going to be the Knicks are finally going to figure it out, or am I going to bet that this is going to be another time where the Knicks end up going to drop the ball?
Well, I think a lot of people in the sport are upset with themselves. And maybe Draymond is speaking for other athletes that he speaks to. Who was the coach that was voted on as the least likely to want to play for? It was Tibbs. So all of these players see that this hard-driving coach who really coaches hard and plays them hard, all of a sudden he's succeeding? Like what Don said earlier, they don't want that. They don't want this to work. They want a player's coach. Hey. Now, I think the Knicks players love Tibbs, but from the outside looking in, he looks like a humorless slug who never seems to be happy about anything, but all those guys on the team would run through a wall for him. But the rest of the NBA doesn't see it that way. He's the guy they don't want to play for, and they don't want to play 48 minutes a game.
Right. See, that's the thing. Listen, I don't think the Knicks are winning a championship, but if they ever did, this year, I should say, but if this style of play eventually does work at an elite level, it's a copycat league, right? Everybody's going to be like, maybe we shouldn't do load man. Maybe this is the way that we should play. You know, maybe these are the coaches that we should hire.
Yeah, what a nightmare for people that would be.
Because let's face it, the NBA is kind of a cozy league. The stars run things. They do what they want to do. They go to the teams where they've got the best chance to win. And now here's a team that's kicking it old school. They got an old school coach. They play hard. And they remind a lot of people of not just the 94 team, but the 04 Pistons. They always bring that up. Well, you don't need a star. And Jalen Brunson's a star, but you know what I mean? It's just that, hey, that the team philosophy, that hard edge, that it could actually work. If this turned out to be the direction of the league, you know how many disappointed superstars there'd be?
You know what we have to root for, the three of us, because, you know, we're rooting for us, all right? Here's what we have to root for, guys. See if you're behind me. See if you follow me. Mm-hmm. We want the Knicks against the Timberwolves in the finals. And I'm going to tell you why, all right? We can't get into Madison Square Garden. We can't get into the ESPN suite. We can't.
Can't do it.
Everybody wants to get into that building, and we are not big enough. We're just not. But if the Timberwolves play the Knicks, I guarantee you one thing. My former partner on the K-Rod broadcast will get us into the Madison Square Garden.
Oh, thank you.
Alex will get us in. That's what we have to root for.
And I also think that he would take care of us in Minnesota, where it could be worth the trip.
Good. Well, we'll have to do shows from there.
It could be worth the trip. First of all, I like Minneapolis. I think it's a very underrated city. It's not an aggressive flight. And if we were to go to a road final game, I think A-Rod would take care of us, not only in the building, but also outside the building. It would be worth the trip.
What do you mean outside the building, like getting a steak and stuff like that?
I think here's how I think it would go.
Big clubs?
We would do the show.
Right.
I think there's a fighting chance we could be sitting courtside or in a suite during the game.
Right.
And either after the game or on the off day, A-Rod takes us out to a high-end steakhouse in Minneapolis.
I like what you're saying right now.
Well, I'm going to test it out because I'm going to be in Minneapolis Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I think that's the way we have to root, because we're rooting for ourselves. Because, I mean, we could beg and plead we're not getting into that building. Our own company won't let us in.
Sad.
Peter's maneuvering to get in for Game 5 if there's a Game 5. We'll see if he succeeds.
No, I'm trying.
I just got a text.
Oh, boy.
From Alex.
No,
Don
really?
and Peter could be my guests. Red carpet for Peter and Don, and great seats.
Wow.
Wait a
Now?
minute. Wait.
Oh, no.
What?
What happened?
What?
Don?
What happened?
Remember I bought
Don?
the jersey?
What is he talking about?
I've got the I got the Karl Anthony Towns jersey. Remember I bought it because I love that green?
Wait.
Yeah.
So now you're rooting for the team.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Well, who am I going to root for in the West, Peter? My Portland
Great point.
Trailblazers are god-awful.
That's right. They really are.
So there it is, Alex. We got
You're
you.
all
Look
in.
at that. One of the New York talk show hosts today is holding up a Karl Anthony Towns jersey.
I
There
love
we
it.
go. See,
I'll tell you what, man.
did you know he was watching? Did you bring this up because you knew?
No.
So he just happens to be watching?
He always watches
That
us.
is-
Don, you still marvel? You still can't believe it, can you? Again, you think you're filth.
Wait a minute.
You think you're human filth.
No, I don't think I'm human filth, but I just is it you really think I'm going to sit there and think that Alex Rodriguez is watching us?
Billy
all the
Crystal's
time?
watching us. Larry David's watching us.
It is really amazing. I'm humbled by it. I am. But I shouldn't sit here, Peter, and expect it. But I could still be humbled when it happens.
No, you're a good guy. You're Don. You're every man, and that's why you're you, because you are sincerely surprised.
Ghostface Killer is watching us.
Who's that?
Ghostface.
Well,
I wish I could get Ghostface to watch it, but no, listen, it's still an honor to have an all-time great watching.
I'm sure
but
Q-Tip's
we know he
watching,
watches.
right?
Q-Tip watches.
I don't know if Q-Tip, but no, I think Q-Tip more listens than watches.
All right,
I'm not sure.
but that's fine. I rather him. No offense to I'd rather him listen. But as long as they're consuming the show in some way, you remember the HBO Inside the NFL? It's the show the pros watch.
Yeah.
Can we spin it? It's where the famous people watch.
I don't know if that.
Alex just texted me, Don. He said he wants you to take him to his first hockey game.
He's never been to a hockey game, even on accident?
No, the guy's from Miami.
Well, and how would you go by accident? That's
Yeah,
the question.
you wander into like where do the Panthers play? What part
Sunrise.
Yeah, he's wandering to Sunrise. Alex doesn't leave Miami.
Wait.
Yeah, no, it's a great point by Michael. You're walking on the street, Don. You take a left turn, and before you know it, it's brisk in here. What's going on? Oh my God, a hockey ride.
Unless somehow they move South Beach to Sunrise, he's not going there.
All right, so let me ask you this, Michael, because I think it's a legitimate question.
Okay.
So I hook up with Alex, and I go to management and say, listen, Alex Rodriguez is available for, let's just say the Rangers lose tomorrow. Game 5, Monday. Alex is in town. I'd like to treat him to the suite. Do you think they'd be able to find room for me and Alex?
Yeah, no, they'd find room for Alex. You'd have to find your own way.
But hopefully Alex would put his foot down and go, no. I'm not going into the suite unless I'm with my guy, Don.
Well, I believe that the Rangers would make room for Alex.
Well, this happened, Don. Last year, we did get Billy Crystal into the suite for a meaningful game.
Yeah, but something happened between that day and today. Right?
You think so?
You got to see. They tweeted something out, Michael. You couldn't understand it, but how disgusted Peter and I were at a tweet that 98.7 ESPN New York sent out, where all the executives are around Bryan Cranston.
And Peter's a big Cranston guy.
Oh, so am I.
Well, Don just watched the show. Don would have geeked out the most.
And meanwhile, the executives around him probably only know him from Malcolm in the Middle. And meanwhile, this guy's greatest work is stuff that Peter and I both appreciated. We're not in the suite. Not even invited to the suite.
Now we're talking T-Wolves. How about this? We just got an email.
Oh, no.
From the NBA. Saying the shortening of the Timberwolves is Wolves, not T-Wolves, according to the NBA and the team. So do not go T-Wolves, go Wolves.
No, I'm not doing it.
You're gonna spit in their face on this.
He's good.
Well, why the NBA? What does Minnesota want to be called?
They said the team and the team and the NBA want it to be Wolves.
Well, I'm gonna. Here's what I want to know, and just shoot me. He doesn't have to do anything beyond today, but send Alex my phone number. He's got my email.
Right.
But I want to know from him what he wants it to be called, and I'll go forward with that.
I get a very
the NBA said. I want to know what he says.
Interesting tweet from Isles Mets Jets fan. Said, let me understand something. Kay LaGreca Rosenberg can't get in the ESPN New York suite, but Jake Assman can be at every playoff game in the suite.
No, I don't think that's true.
No,
I think Jake was on the he's credentialed. He was up on the bridge.
I can get into the suite. I walk into the suite anytime I want because I've got the credential. So at Ranger games, I'll stop into the suite when I'm doing the pre and post. But we're talking about sitting down in a chair with a ticket like gentlemen.
Like a gentleman.
And enjoying a beverage and enjoying the game. We're shut out. No, but I can go into the suite. How does Alex want us to move forward with this, Michael?
He's just texting me. Connect us on text right now.
Wow.
Let me go to the phones. Let's go to Michael in New Jersey.
Look at you, Don.
Hey, Don, it's Mike Snow, man. Thanks for taking a call.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
First off, I've been trying to call in for several weeks now. I was the one who compared Michael to Aaron Rodgers, and Mike didn't take too kindly of it. But I want to apologize. I didn't mean to offend him. I didn't call in like with the vitriol in my voice and wanted to, offend him. So, I apologize.
I forget that, Michael. Though, how did you compare me to a conspiracy theorist?
The comment was that Michael probably surveys the room and thinks that he's the smartest guy in the room.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh no. Michael, as I said when you hung up, I loathe myself. You couldn't be more wrong. But please go on.
No, I think I said several times. I know it's all in good fun, whatever. So. When you were like kind of upset about it or whatever, I was like, oh, well, I didn't call to, bash you.
It's all good, Michael. It's all good. Really, it's all entertainment. What's up, babe?
The NBA point I wanted to make was, the familiarity aspect of what the Knicks are doing. The guys who played together at Villanova, it's kind of like five fingers in a fist. The Timberwolves, what they're doing out there is, it's just as big or even a bigger story. The way they play in defense right now, that has not been seen in the NBA in decades. And, they have three guys from New Jersey that are all around the same age. And I'm sure they played AAU together. And don't be surprised to see some of these Connecticut guys kind of work their way onto the same team. And they keep – this might be a trend in the NBA. Instead of just getting the superstar, and everybody's got their own agenda, you might just see this happen where guys who played together with each other already have,
See, but I like the way you're thinking, Michael, but I don't know if that's possible now because everybody in the NBA is NIL, go to one team, go to another. A guy went from Seton Hall to St. John's. For what purpose? He probably got a better NIL at St. John's. You're not going to have what happened at Villanova happen over and over again. The beauty of the Villanova guys is that they weren't the best players in the world. They stayed together for 3 or 4 years, and there was a camaraderie and a chemistry. And now that they're on the same team, they could revisit that. Peter and Don, I don't think that's going to happen very much in basketball, college basketball anymore. You're not going to keep teams together for 3 or 4 years.
No, so how are they supposed to connect?
It's already happened.
It's just not going to happen. But could you see the way the Knicks have built their team, forget the college connections, but instead of going for the superstar, getting the right guys, getting the guys that fit what you're trying to do. Instead of going for the big splash and the biggest name, it's all right. Can he work with the guys that we have? Is he going to be able to play the system that we've instituted here, or is it going to be let's just get the superstar and then whatever he wants to do, we'll play his way? No, you're going to come here and you're going to play our way. All these coaches always throw out the Jet way, the Giant way, the Yankee way. It seems like we've got a Knick way. And the Knick way is kind of anti-NBA way. Can they sway it to where this becomes the way?
And what Michael, our caller, brought up with the Timberwolves, at least, they have Karl Anthony Towns and Naz Reid. They were teammates in New Jersey at the age of 9. So it's kind of, there's a chemistry there. And not because Alex is watching or listening right now, but I've been saying this from the beginning. They're playing tonight. They're the second game after the Knick game. Anthony Edwards is unbelievable. He's unbelievable how good he is.
I mean,
people are comparing to Jordan. He shuts it down and goes, no, I have a three-point shot. He's got a way about him.
Well, there is, and Michael, I'm telling you, it's not only is it the skill set, there's something physically about him that gives Jordan too.
But what do you always hear, especially in hockey, but even with this Knick team, like when you see the blind pass or he's got eyes in the back of his head. How do you know where they know where everybody is going to be? It's chemistry. It's knowing each other that makes that happen. And that's what you have. Like, well, A-Rod talks about like what he hated about analytics, where he liked knowing when he came to the ballpark that he was going to bat third and he was going to bat behind whoever, because then he could pick up the tendencies from the guy that's hitting in front of him, the guy that's hitting behind him, to be able to know what to expect, and then you build chemistry through that. That's what the analytic people don't understand. It's not plug and play. It's getting to know each other. So that's how you're on the same page. So we sit there and we marvel, like, how did Panarin or how did Trocheck find Panarin last night? Well, because they've played together all year, and they know each other, and they know where everybody's going to be. Why was Gretzky the greatest hockey player? He wasn't the fastest, Michael. He wasn't the biggest. He wasn't the strongest. He just knew where the puck was going to go before everybody else. That's what wins. And when you build that chemistry and know what you're getting into and know each other, and you've known each other for a long time, and you keep teams together, and you bring in players that fit into what you do, you can accomplish great things.
I'll tell you what, the NBA's got it going on because the 4 series are all interesting. Cleveland made it interesting. We've got the Knicks and the Pacers. It's going to be interesting tonight. We've got the Timberwolves with a 2-0 lead over Denver, and that series shifts to Minneapolis. And then Dallas beat OKC yesterday in OKC, so that series is tied up at a game apiece. So, I mean, those are 4 good series. It really is. So I am so into the hoops right now, and hockey's dragging us all in as well. We got more to talk about. We'll break it down for the people right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
This year, we're giving you a clean slate with fresh, better-for-you ingredients and an easier way to cook. Dinner time just got a whole lot better for you. So sit back and enjoy.
Let's all get better.
Take a chance. If you want to execute and perform at a high level, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent.
I want to teach you about seeing things, hearing things, smelling things.
You can find a laugh, you'll find ease. Laugh at everything.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
10. You said, I've been living here 10 years and I haven't found a good pizza spot.
That's good. That's really good.
0.00.
Oh, baby, talk to me, bro.
You, Nick Swisher, have the lowest ERA in the history of baseball.
That's right.
There have been 2,740,718 views of your Savages in the Box viral rant.
Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
When I was really little, I don't know why, but I wanted to be a pastor. When I was like a small child.
I wanted to be a celebrity, like by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
These players are playing for a lot of money today.
I'm only here for a 2P. I don't really care about any other place.
My dad is a gamer.
My dad.
My brother.
My mom.
My grandmother.
My dad's a big gamer, still is. People will either like me or they will hate me, and I think that's fine. I'm okay with that.
I can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
Give your ears a rest. Love your ears. Learn more at hearinghealthfoundation.org. Keep listening.
You seek the key, but you must first learn the discipline. Lesson 1, energy is nothing without control. Lesson 2, there is power in silence. Lesson 3, unlock the energy within.
You could pick from hundreds of law firms for your mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer case. But would you be confident that you made the best choice? Whites & Luxembourg is the firm that has represented more asbestos disease clients than any other firm in the metropolitan area. With 30 years' experience, they have New York's highest recorded asbestos verdicts of all time. The choice is clear, and the stakes could not be higher.
Whites & Luxembourg has our backs.
Call Whites & Luxembourg today.
Call 1-888-411-LAWS. That's 1-888-411-LAWS.
Stay ahead of your moderate to severe eczema and show off clearer skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. After a 5-1 homestand, the Bombers heading to Tampa for another road trip is brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. It'll be a weekend of Yankees baseball on Yes and the Yes app starting tonight at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. Clark Schmidt gets the ball for tonight's tilt, while Nestor Cortez will throw tomorrow. And Luis Heel is scheduled to tow it up on Sunday in the series finale before the Yankees get an off day and then head to Minnesota for 3 games to wrap up this trip. But first, it's an interdivisional battle with the Rays, the team's second meeting of the season, and it all begins with the pregame show tonight at 6, immediately following the Michael K. Show right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
Yesterday, they had an opportunity to sweep with a late rally, but they fell a little bit short, so the Astros salvaged the final game of the 3-game set. Yankees did make a move at the end of the game. They sent down Ron Marinaccio, who's been pitching very well. It just becomes a numbers game. Nick Birdie was coming off the IL, so they send down Marinaccio, who certainly has returned to what he was a couple of years ago. So he's an option to come back at a moment's notice, but he has options left, so that's why they sent him down. They begin a 3-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight in St. Pete, and then on Tuesday they continue the road trip with 3 games against the red-hot Minnesota Twins. That's the Pinstripe Report, brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. For pain-free life, visit SamwellPain.com today. All right, time for the Knicks playoff preview, brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Scout your next teammate with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. So Rick Carlisle, after ripping the officials, got a $35,000 fine.
That's not nothing.
Oh, boy.
So all 35. You have to do is criticize the officials, and you get paid. You get a 35% punishment on throwing a basketball at a fan if you're Patrick Beverly. No, he got 4. He got 4 games suspended. Throwing an ice pack on the floor, heat pack for Murray. None of it makes sense to me. None of it makes sense. How is that even? How is that even in the same ballpark for a fine? He should have been suspended.
Please make sense of this.
Nothing makes sense, Peter.
Again, I'm not going to defend the NBA, but you're really going after the integrity of sport when you're talking about small market, big market, and they don't want us to win. So it has to be fined pretty significantly. You can't have – it's one thing to criticize the officials, but when you start going about that there's a conspiracy theory against your team, you're going right – you're compromising the sport.
Also, I love the big market. You know, they lean in favor of the big market. Well, you know what? They're leaning awfully ineffectively. The Knicks haven't won since 1973. They said that they set the lottery up for them to get Patrick Ewing. They haven't set it up since then.
Oh, my God. It's so irritating. It's in hockey, too, the same thing. Oh, they just don't want the Canadian teams. Canadian team hasn't won since 93. Rangers haven't won in 30 years.
Yeah, so they want to fix it, but they can't.
It's really bad at it.
They're really inept.
I brought it up in my podcast. When they can't, the NHL canceled an entire season, Peter. An entire season canceled. They're trying to win over fans after disrespecting them by canceling an entire season and not awarding the cup. So you know what they did? They pulled a few strings and they set up Edmonton, Carolina Stanley Cup final to try to win everybody over. Like, if you're going to pull string, then have the Rangers play the Kings, have the Rangers play the Blackhawks. No, they had the Edmonton Oilers versus the Carolina Hurricanes, and the next year they set up Ottawa, Anaheim.
And small markets don't get a chance in basketball, according to Rick Carlisle. Has he checked the population of Minneapolis? Has he checked the population of OKC? Those teams are doing pretty well.
I would think, Michael, OKC has got to be like the bottom 5 markets in all of sports.
You know, I think I read, Don, that Minnesota is smaller than OKC.
Really?
Yeah, I think OKC is like 600,000. Minnesota's like 450,000. Now, Minnesota draws, but Minneapolis, where they play, is 450.
Yeah, but is that not including St. Paul? Like,
I don't know.
That seems like OKC. That's the NBA's version of Winnipeg. No,
or Green Bay.
Yeah, or the NFL's version of Green Bay. That's small market stuff. But you can't. It's one thing to criticize the officials, and you do deserve to be disciplined for that. But when you start going after the integrity of the sport, you can't have that happen.
Well, he deserved it, and then he joked today in a press conference, well, I guess my daughter's not going to go to a semester of college. Well, it's your fault. You know, this is a guy he's the head of the coaches union, and he makes a comment like that. He lost a lot of people with that. That's just dumb. Listen, I understand gamesmanship, where you're going to talk about officiating and try to get the calls on your side, but to play that card, you really look dumb. This guy's not a dumb guy.
Peter Body just tweeted out video, Jalen Brunson on the court for warm-ups.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to play.
He looks good, too.
Well, Peter Body?
I think with that name, you got to look good.
No, Peter's
a handsome guy. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I think he's all right looking. I don't manalize people like that.
I do.
How do you spell body?
B-O-T-T-E.
B-O-T-T-E.
That impresses you?
No, he's right now trying to look it up to see.
Checking him out. See what it looks like.
He doesn't like to manalize, but he will now. Great sweater today, Peter. And it looks good on you.
Oh, thank you. So a very overpriced U.S. Open merch. My favorite sports merch.
Here is Rick Carlisle on the reaction to his post-game 2 comments.
I'm going to support my players and our fan base and our ownership 100%. And I'm done talking about it.
Well, you didn't. You made them look bad. You made your players look bad. Why didn't you just admit your players haven't played well? Your players admitted that. McConnell admitted that.
Well,
Halliburton admitted that.
That's how he's saying he's supporting them, by going after the officials in the league and not them.
But they say it's them.
I know, but then it should be the opposite. But we talked about this with Frank Isola yesterday when you left, Michael. That it's about knowing your players. I guess his players can't. He doesn't think his players can handle the criticism. Like Jim Montgomery went after David Pasternak, and what did he do going into Game 7? Scores the game-winning goal. You can go after certain players, but if you don't, then what you're saying is either you don't have the guts to do it, or you don't think your players can handle the criticism. Why wouldn't he be supported with the players killing themselves?
Now, Peter, did Frank react well to you saying that he was handsome?
Can't say it came up, did it?
When I introduced him.
Oh, that's right.
He reacted great.
He reacted like someone that's heard it before.
Yeah, he knows.
He is very
he's an oil painter.
Steph Bondi tweeted out that OG has traveled with the Knicks to Indy.
Oh, that's good. I'm surprised.
No, but I heard, Don, it's just because he's going to St. Elmo's tonight to get the horseradish sauce. The best.
But
smart move.
But that opens the door for the possibility of him playing in Game 4. Now, that might just be they want Indy to think that. But the fact that he's there does open the speculation that he could play on Sunday.
Now, I have been told, guys, that I am going to have an interview with Tyrese Halliburton.
When?
On the Cheap Heat podcast as soon as the playoffs are over. That's what
he's a big wrestling guy?
Oh, yeah. Big. I told him I wanted to do a watch-along and watch some 80s stuff. He's never watched 80s wrestling in his life. He was born in 2000.
Oh, wow.
He was Don. He was born like late in the Attitude Era, like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin were already veterans by the time he was born.
God, imagine somebody in the NBA born in 2000.
It's annoying. It's annoying. Chet Holmgren, Wembanyama, they're all born in the 2000s.
No, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, as we just said, just like Tyrese Halliburton. He didn't hear the beginning, did he, Don?
I did
No, he
hear it.
did.
I did. I'm just, hey, relax, Sal.
I'm just making sure.
Rarely. Well, we can criticize Michael on a lot of things. Rarely do you catch him not paying attention.
That's not true.
Rarely.
Rarely.
The only time I don't pay attention is when you're babbling on.
I was going to say, Don, rarely not paying attention to you.
He heard
to
Cheap
me,
Heat and he shut down.
Most times when I talk, he's out.
But
What?
not because
What'd you
he's. It's strategic, though.
Go ahead.
He just doesn't care. He figures.
No, because I've never seen a podcast that is more promoted than Cheap Heat and not paying a dime to our company to promote it.
It's available wherever you find podcasts.
Let's go to Guy on the Long Island Expressway. Guy.
Out there. What exit?
Right now, 40.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
I love 40.
Traffic. Yes, in Mineola, sorry. But in the wild, is there any particular rules?
It's got to be someplace where the person, you can't expect to find them. Like if you run into, Derek Jeter at Yankee Stadium, that's really not in the wild.
I'll give you the rules. I came up with it. It's got to be somewhere where you wouldn't expect to find them.
Okay, so I was at a restaurant. Well, I have two. Both is at a restaurant. So I was at a restaurant in Manhattan, and I saw Bryan Cranston, and I didn't go talk to him because I didn't want to be rude. He was with a group of people. So I went. I just saw him in the restaurant. You see him in the restaurant, I was eating that.
Okay. And what's the other one?
So did that count?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course that's in the wild. Unless the restaurant was called Bryan Cranston's.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
No. Well, this one was pretty much Clyde Frazier at his restaurant.
No,
he came in,
that's not in the wild. That's not in the wild. No. That's like
you were 1 for 2.
That's like saying, "Oh, I met Ruth at Ruth's Chris." No, it's not good.
It's not
the same thing. Or Ronald at McDonald's. It's just not the same.
Or
I met
King
LT
at Burger King.
LT's. That doesn't work.
Or if you met Wendy at Wendy's, it's just not good.
I don't think Wendy's still with us.
Wendy is still with us. Dave is not with us.
Well, you don't know. Do you know for a fact Wendy's still with us?
Yeah, I do know for a fact. Dave, the dad, is not with us. He named it after his daughter, Wendy. Wendy is still very vibrant and alive.
Yeah, very. Michael saw her just last week.
Listen,
in the
Byron's
wild.
just a guess.
I actually saw her at McDonald's. It's amazing.
You took it right from me.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's where I was. That's where I was going. It's like did I ever tell you guys about the time I saw Mike at Jersey Mike?
No, you didn't tell us. No.
Yeah. It's Mike from Jersey Mike's. What a guy.
This has been a fun show, and there's still a lot more to go. We got a weekend edition of ENN coming up.
The special
Yeah, still with us. She's 62.
There you go. I told you. What do you think? I lied? You had to check me
still
out.
with us. She's killing it.
You guessed.
I
You
didn't
didn't
guess.
know.
I'm a big fast food guy.
Yeah, but so's everybody. But that doesn't mean you know where everybody is.
Ray Kroc, who started McDonald's, dead as a doornail. Dead.
Own the Padres.
Yeah, dead.
Hey, Don, you know what game I want to play?
Dead or
Dead or
alive?
alive?
No, we have 15 minutes to play this game, Don. I want you, just to make me feel good. I'm looking at us on the TV monitor, and we all look terrific. Better than our ages used to be. I'm 44 years old. I'm looking at myself on the camera at 44 years old. Don, I want you before ENN to throw me an actor at a time who was my exact age and looked minimum 20 years older than me. I know you can do it. I know you.
Oh, I am sure. Go back to Mary Tyler Moore, Lou Grant. Ed Asner at 45.
Look 90?
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley.
I'm going to confirm that.
Wilford Brimley at 44 looked 103.
Well, that's a cheat
That's
code.
the standard. That's the gold standard.
Because he had diabetes.
Yeah, but he did have diabetes.
Yeah. But he was like 40 in the natural, and he had the old people with the gray hair sticking out of his shirt and on his chest, and he was like 42.
And what was the one where they all went in the pool and got young?
Cocoon.
Yeah, he was like 50. He looked like he was 90.
The other day on my podcast, a different one, Cheap Heat, was talking about Wilford Brimley and diabetes, and I ended up typing in a clip. Typing a clip on YouTube that I didn't know was going to be. It's all Don. It's a supercut of different times Wilford Brimley said diabetes back to back. It's 42 different diabetes back to back to back. It's unbelievable.
Well, you know what? That's a perfect way to go to a commercial. Just think about that, everybody. We'll come back with more brilliance in just a moment right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Does it again. We're dogs out here. There was barking in the dugout.
Pass the ketchup. Dad, are you okay?
Yeah, just stressed out.
Oh, and the melody is sounding so much better. I can play it for you. Wait, where's your guitar?
I gave it to your cousin.
What? That guitar's like your favorite thing.
I don't need it anymore. Some days are just better than others.
I think you should go talk to someone.
It's not that easy.
Have you been thinking about suicide? You can talk to me, Dad.
Now move your right foot. There you go.
This young girl's breakthrough, just being a kid,
got this.
was made possible by another breakthrough. The discovery of a game-changing drug that's delaying the onset of type 1 diabetes for years to come. That's the pioneering research of Yale School of Medicine delivered through Yale New Haven Health. Together, we're powering breakthroughs with the greatest of care.
Yes Network is now streaming on Fubo. Watch the Yankees and more of your New York teams. Streaming live on all your devices. Plus, over 350 top channels. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Step into the world of Golden Nugget Online Casino. With all the slots and table games you love, feel like you're on the casino floor no matter where you are. Score rewards by playing your favorite games and get your winnings almost instantly with lightning-fast withdrawals. Go! So what are you waiting for? Have a great time in your downtime. Download the Golden Nugget Online Casino app and get started today with this great offer.
Everywhere but the seat. The seat is leather.
Alan, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? I don't do that. This reminds me of my bike. The Wolf was about the size of my new motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way? Happy birthday, Grandma!
Really?
Look how the brushstrokes follow the line of a gas tank. Hey! Brought my +1. Jamie.
Big season. More reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience.
Aaron Judge crushes one. What a win for the Yankees.
The Yes app. Download now.
When I was 19 and I was going to shows, I was not thinking about permanent hearing loss. I wasn't thinking about tinnitus.
Sometimes my kids are having a conversation with me and that ringing starts in my ear. They're talking to me and I hear their voice, but I can't focus on what they're saying.
The audiologist, he told me that most of his clients are not old people. They're kids that have their earphones in.
I have a lot of regret about not protecting my ears sooner.
Protect your ears at all times, no matter what. It's not something you can get back.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly. To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
So who won the week? Who won the week? Who won yesterday? I wasn't there. I wasn't there for the end.
Don 3-2.
Don won 3-2.
Yeah. But I won yesterday, right?
Yeah. Sad though. I really didn't have a chance. I was only on an hour and a half.
Well, whose fault's that?
Yankees.
8 minutes till the batting practice show.
No. I think it's just a pregame show today. Because the game's at an odd time. It's 6:50.
Oh, that's right. Countdown to Yankee pregame. I'm sorry, I misread it.
Not batting practice. And they usually don't do batting practice first day into a city.
Well, I think that's a great decision by Flip because it's an actual pregame.
You're okay with it if it's pregame?
Yes.
I think somebody wasn't paying attention there, Peter, and it wasn't me.
No, I was. I wanted to. I wanted to come up with a yes that was emphatic and got the attention of everybody, and I think I did that.
Mike in Caldwell. Mikey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Just wanted to do an In the Wild.
What do you got?
Probably my best one. My best one ever. I was working in the city in my mid-20s, working for the phone company in a walking district where you have to walk everywhere and carry your tools. And I'm walking down 38th Street between Madison and Park, and I see this cab pull over. And I see this guy get out, big, tall, like 6'6". I'm 6'4", and I'm walking past him. I'm like, look at this freak. And I walk past him, and I look at him, and I'm like, holy bleep, it's freaking Joey Ramone.
Nice.
I'm like, I turn around, and I'm like, hey, Joey. Turn around, hey, man, what's up? And then he just goes up into a brownstone. It was the coolest thing
So he's
ever.
that big? He's that tall?
I'm a
He was
huge
that tall?
Ramones fan. Oh, he's enormous. He's the tall, skinny, long hair, just covering his face, like the tight, like skinny leather jeans on. Just a string bean of a guy, but really tall.
Well, that's not a bad In the Wild.
That's a very good one.
That's right there. I mean, it's in the wild. In the wild.
Very much in the wild.
Let's go to Arnie in Dumont. Arnie.
Hey, Arn. Hello there, guys. It's nice to talk to you guys. By the way, my grandson, Brendan, says hello to you.
Brendan!
I think you know who Brendan is.
Okay.
It's one in the bus accent. Anyway, I just want to say that the game last night was incredible, and I thought that I didn't hear the call on the radio until I heard it was you, but Dave Maloney's he's been there for over 40 years, and he was the heart and soul of the Rangers. He was a captain of the team. He almost lost his life by getting cut with a skate at one time in his thigh there. So he was, I don't know how deep his broadcasting skills are, but, I give him one pass.
No, Arnie, that one pass a long time ago. Dave is a Ranger legend. He's iconic because of his play, because of how long he's been doing this. Listen, I just have a different thought on when it comes to broadcasting, how to do that. We have to say goodbye to Yes now. I hate to do this.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah, everybody that's watching on TV, have a great weekend.
That's a wrap on the show for today and this week. Coming up next, our coverage of the Yankees and Rays gets underway with the pregame show. For all of us here on the Michael K. Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 o'clock.
What is that? Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours.
It's one fantastic ride. The turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte.
Best 2 out of 3?
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Ever wonder why Kit Kats are so delightfully crispy? There's your answer. 1, 2, 3. Tasty wafers covered in creamy milk chocolate. Isn't it nice wafers are having their moment? Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Delight in the moment with chocolate frosted donut.